Hi, I'm Lucy James, and I listen to the One Up Gaming podcast.
Up next on the One Up Gaming podcast is 10 minutes of nothing. Will it be the team talking about nothing or a guest interview? Stick around and find out now. It's 10 minutes of nothing. Yeah, 10 minutes of nothing.
So we're back. Still David, still One Up Gaming, still X-Men special on episode 391 of the One Up Gaming podcast. So this is going to be the 10 minutes of nothing, where we will be going through the 10 minutes of nothing, where basically we just talk 10 minutes of crap. And so this is going to be me talking about the X-Men sort of 97, yeah, X-Men, the animated series, sort of like, yeah, I haven't really said this much, have I? But anyway, we're going to watch the trailer, and then we're also going to watch, we're just going to talk about it. So, without further ado, 10 minutes starts now, and so with the trailer, you have the Jean Grey and Scott Summers picture, the Colossus little figure, the old retro TV with a really bad fake CRT filter on it, Morph, the final episode of the X-Men season 5, I think, where Professor Xavier gets taken away by Lilandra to the other place, yeah, to be made better, I don't know. So there's was that the Warlocks, the Mallrats? I can't remember. Daily Bugle, more Marvel synergy there. It's looking as though Professor Xavier dies? I don't know. Different. More Sentinels. There's the statues of Professor Xavier and Magneto. So Storm's got the Mohican haircut. I do love that outfit that Wolverine wears. Gambit's my favourite character out of them. Hopefully they'll introduce Iceman back into it. But yeah, it looks as though, well, they've had 30 years to think about the actual, you know, like the actual how they're gonna carry on the story. But yeah, I love the music. X-Men 97. So this is like meant to look like really quite creepy with him saying all this. But I think in the comics he does actually take over his child's mansion at some point or another, which, you know, it kind of makes sense. So I mean, please send us feedback, send us comments. What do you guys think will be happening in the new series? Do you think it'll be a one season and done, or do you reckon they will try and get us 3, 4, 5 seasons out of this? Now, this is me being an idiot, because back in 92, what was that? So in 92, I'd have been 11. No, yeah. Yeah, I was born in 81. Yeah, I'd have been about 11, 12-ish, depending when it came out to the UK. And it must have hit me at the perfect time, because I remember that TV series so amazingly well. I loved Gambit. I've always loved Iceman, but that's mainly from I think it was the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends sort of series. But I loved that as well. I mean, I will say one thing negative about the sort of show from the old 90s, and that was I loved it so much until it got into the space side of things, the Phoenix Saga, all that kind of stuff. I just feel as though it went a bit batshit crazy when they were then started to do the sort of thing. But I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where we won't really know what's going on until Marvel release the stuff and we know the writers, the story arcs, the how it all moves. But yeah, I loved Nightcrawler, but he wasn't a massive main part of the old series. I loved Iceman, but I think it was only 1, maybe 2 episodes. I think Spider-Man was in a couple of episodes. They had the X-Force, I think, was in it. And they also had... Did they have the Excalibur, the British X-Men sort of team? Oh, God. Going back, I might actually have to watch all these old TV cartoons. And I'm like 40 odd years old, man. I'm too old for all this crap. But, no, I do enjoy a bit of X-Men. I would so wish that X-Men Destiny game that came out, I really wish that was more than it actually was. And it wasn't made on stolen Unreal Engine components that had to be taken down, and it was a mess, an absolute mess. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that some of these things, I don't know. I feel as though that a lot of the Marvel things at the moment, I really think that a lot of negative press has been on a lot of the Marvel stuff when you think about it. The Wasp, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, that was probably the worst movie I've seen for years that's come from a big name studio. You know, that it was diabolical. It was an absolute disgrace of a movie. It really was. Now, say what you want to say about the Marvels, but I thought it was a fun, stupid comedy movie, and I really enjoyed just sitting watching. You know, not every movie has to be moving the whole narrative massively forward all the time, but I just felt as though it worked. It was nice. It was a good little movie. But it's one of those things where you just don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. I mean, like, what would your ideal developer, what would your game pitch be? Now, I think that Capcom did it amazingly well when they did the one-on-one fighting with X-Men Children of the Atom. Now, that was perfect. And then they carried on with the X-Men vs Street Fighter and the Marvel vs Street Fighter and all that kind of stuff. I felt it went a bit way over the top. But what are you gonna do? For the old 16-bit sort of generation of consoles, I enjoyed the 2D side-scrolling platform puzzle combat sort of games. I felt they were really nice. They looked gorgeous, played well. The side-scrolling beat 'em up works well because the X-Men do fight a lot of things. But in this day and age, I don't think you could make a full-fledged game like that unless it was in the God of War sort of mould. You know, Bayonetta, God of War, Devil May Cry. Go over the top with the Berserker modes. Go over the top with the special abilities. And just ramp up that graphics. Just ramp it up massively. I could still love to see like a Telltale style game. I mean, like, there was that Star Trek game that came out not long ago, like end of last year, which is like a kind of like a Telltale style game, and I don't believe it has named characters from the TV shows, and it is just focusing on its own narrative. And I do think that a game like the X-Men can do things like that, because you could have like different episodes focusing on different people, and they all come together in the final episode, and something like that could work. But I don't know. I'm not a game developer. I'm not an ideas guy. I'm an idiot boy that loved watching the old cartoon series when I was a kid. I'm not sure about the new art style. I loved the Magneto's big M sort of like robe. I think that looked amazing. Oh God! Try not to yawn. Failed. But it's one of those things where I'm excited to see what Marvel and Disney do with the X-Men in their cinematic universe. I'm so excited for the actual Deadpool and Wolverine movie. I really think that they could mix and match and just bring loads of people. Hopefully they get Channing Tatum in to do like a Gambit cameo, because that movie should have been there. It should have been like done. But what can you do? So I think that's been 10 minutes. We'll end it there. So it's been me, David, One Up Gaming, with episode 391 of the One Up Gaming podcast with our X-Men special. Please like, subscribe, share, bell, all that good stuff on our YouTube channel. And yeah, thank you so much.